She took off the cap, and the moment her blonde hair fell over her shoulders, $4.2 billion began to disappear, all in just 8 minutes. Marcus Chen, a self-made billionaire, number 342 on Forbes, 32 years old, a brilliant tech mind, had just fired a janitor for being lazy. But what he didn't know was that this woman wasn't a janitor at all. She was Catherine Zhao, number 17 on Forbes, worth $8.3 billion. The woman who had invested $500 million in his company 6 months earlier. And he had no idea. How did she end up there? And why did she do it? The answer would shatter everything you think you know about coincidence, character, and karma. Because what happened in that room wasn't about money. It was about humanity. Or rather, the lack of it. To understand why a billionaire disguised herself as a janitor for 6 months just to destroy a CEO in 8 minutes, we need to go back. 12 years. The day Lily Zhao died, San Francisco, 2013. Catherine was 24, a Stanford graduate, brilliant, ambitious, and deeply connected to her younger sister. Lily was 19. Bright smile, big dreams. She had just landed her first internship at Elevate Tech. Hey, I got the job. I'm gonna work in tech. I'm so proud of you, Lily. You're gonna crush it. At first, she called every day, excited about the team, the glass-walled meeting rooms, the rooftop coffee breaks. She loved staying late, proving herself, feeling like she was part of something big. But over the months, that light started to fade. The calls became rare, her voice got heavy, her smile disappeared. I'm fine. Just a lot of work, she'd say. Lily was working 90 hours a week. No overtime. The CEO called it startup culture. You either handle it or you leave. She needed that job. And the health insurance. She had asthma. Her meds were expensive. There were nights when Lily slept hidden in the break room, wrapped in her jacket, because going home meant losing precious hours. Weekends alone in the building under the cold blue light of monitors were normal. And still, when she made a small mistake, they mocked her in meetings. Then Jason, the CEO, cut intern benefits. Cost cutting, he said casually, like he was cutting coffee orders. Without money for her inhaler, Lily decided to wait until the next paycheck. But it never came. On the night of April 23rd, she was alone in the office. She coughed. Her chest tightened. The air was gone. She reached for her inhaler. It wasn't there. She dialed 911, tried to speak. I can't breathe. But the air ran out before help arrived. When the paramedics got there, the project was on the screen. 94% complete, and Catherine's sister was gone. Catherine arrived at the building surrounded by ambulances and flashing red lights. On Lily's laptop, Project Alpha, 94% complete. She died trying to prove she was good enough for a job that was killing her. On the screen, an email sent minutes earlier. No excuses. If you can't finish, I'll find someone who can. Something inside Catherine died that night, and something new was born. Jason didn't attend the funeral, but he posted on LinkedIn, R.I.P. Lily Zhao, position now open. Sitting beside her sister's coffin, Catherine whispered a promise. Never again. She didn't sue Jason. A lawsuit punishes one man. She wanted to stop 1,000. Over the years, she built a billion-dollar empire and created one rule. Before investing, she tested character. She called it the janitor protocol. Hidden in the investment contract was a single line. Investment subject to satisfactory cultural assessment at the sole discretion of the investor. And then she disappeared. A new janitor appeared. Blue uniform, broken English, invisible. For 6 months, she scrubbed floors, emptied trash, and watched. She saw what spreadsheets never show, how CEOs treat people who don't matter, how they talk when no one important is around, how they react when power isn't watching. If they passed, they got the money. If they failed, she pulled everything. In 12 years, Catherine tested 47 CEOs. 3 passed. 44 failed, and she estimates she saved more than 1,800 lives. 6 months ago, Marcus Chen joined the list. 32 years old. CEO of Nexus AI, a $600 million company. IPO in 2 months? Catherine invested $500 million. 3 days later, Maria Santos appeared. Brazilian, 43, broken English, thick glasses, brown hair. No one looked twice. No one realized Maria was Catherine. From the start, she saw the signs. The forced laughter when he walked in, the fear in the air, the way people breathed easier the moment he left the floor. She'd seen it before. And then came the incidents, public humiliation, sexist jokes, racist remarks, quiet harassment behind closed doors, fraud hidden in perfect reports. But it wasn't just the big moments. It was the little things. The way he never greeted the receptionist, how he ignored the night guard, how he mocked delivery drivers. Those were the real tests. Then came the final day. During an investor meeting, she deliberately spilled water on the floor. Marcus snapped. He humiliated her, laughed in front of everyone, fired her on the spot, exactly as she expected. That night, she removed the disguise and opened the dossier. 847 videos, 67 witness statements, 12 federal crimes. She called her lawyers, the FBI, the SEC, EEOC, CNBC. Marcus's fall had a date and time. The next morning, Marcus walked in smiling, ready to celebrate. 5 minutes later, Maria walked in. But she wasn't Maria anymore. She was Catherine Zhao. She took off the cap, let her blonde hair fall, removed the glasses. He froze. She hit play on the tablet. His cruelty played out before his eyes. Misogyny, harassment, discrimination, fraud. "You failed at everything," she said calmly. One tap. $500 million gone. The valuation collapsed. The IPO was canceled. The empire crumbled in minutes, but the collapse didn't stay inside those walls. Within an hour, the headlines exploded. Tech unicorn CEO exposed by billionaire undercover. Social media lit up. Employees spoke out. Investors fled. The narrative had flipped. And Marcus had no control anymore. "I didn't destroy you, Marcus," Catherine said. "You destroyed yourself." Then she walked to the open office, climbed onto a chair. "My name is Catherine Zhao. For the last 6 months, you've known me as Maria." The janitor. Faces froze. Whispers filled the room. Some of you were kind. You passed. Most ignored me. Some were cruel. And now, you're marked. She offered jobs to the ones who treated her like a human being, and left them with a warning: always treat the ones who seem invisible with respect. It might be a test. It might be an angel. It might be someone with more power than you'll ever imagine. Hours later, Catherine stood at her sister's grave. Lily Zhao, 1994-2013. She knelt and whispered, 1847, sis, for you, and walked away. The mission continued. A year later, Marcus Chen was sentenced to 8 years in federal prison. Nexus AI survived under new leadership. The story of Marcus became a case study around the world. In business schools, they called it the janitor lesson. In Silicon Valley, CEOs joked nervously, "What if she shows up at our company?" Because Catherine Zhao wasn't just a billionaire anymore. She was a force. In the end, it wasn't revenge. It was character. Marcus wasn't destroyed by Catherine. He destroyed himself. Because the universe tests. Always. Sometimes in the form of an invisible janitor. Sometimes through someone you never noticed. The way you treat those people reveals who you are. Not your title, not your bank account, but your character. When no one important is watching. So the real question is, if tomorrow a janitor walks into your life, would you pass the test?